how was your experience? What do you think about your first meeting with Viglo?
Oh, actually, this has been very insightful, and I mean, coming up with the future expectations, I think this is a great company, and we are supposed to be in the limelight very soon.
Have your expectations been met? Like, how do you think? Of what we are up to, what we have done? Have you been in a board meeting like this? Are we friendly?
Yeah, and it's open to more suggestions and more criticisms. Yeah, this is one of the best opportunities for you to be on board, because in the future you may not get this opportunity and things may go high. So get up now and then link up.
How about entrepreneurs? Someone has his own company. What are the things you should be looking at?
Follow bright minds. Those who know road, follow them.
Okay.
And also keep up to the grind. I think my future with Group Hub, I'm going to get to learn more. No, like I've learned a lot already, but seeing how things are going is teaching me a lot outside the musical field. I'm also learning how to get some managerial and decision-making skills.
Fantastic. Thank you. Experience at the meeting, the board meeting. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it has been my first time, and I think I like what I experienced as a growing professional and a young person having a business or entrepreneurship ambition. I think this is a good experience for me. I've learned a lot how to chair a board meeting, and I've learned a lot from I would say our daddy, Mr. The Calmon. I think mentorship is key. Yeah, it's mentorship is key. I think what I've seen today, what I've experienced today, it's point out that we have a lot to learn as growing and upcoming professional entrepreneurs. Yeah, we need to link up and network with the seniors in order to learn a lot from them.
Okay. What do you think about the atmosphere that was in the meeting? Was it friendly? Was it too corporate? Was it tensious?
I think it's a mixture. Yeah, there's a time where it becomes tensious, and a time where it's friendly, jokes, laugh it out. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So what are your hopes for the future?
Okay, for Group Hub, my hope is that Group Hub will grow up to expand and become a worldwide, I would say, a worldwide name. Yeah, if anyone called Group Hub should know what Group Hub is about. Yeah, so that's for Group Hub, and for in general, I hope that myself will also grow up to have a group of companies, and I think the little I've learned from today's meeting is going to help me a lot, and I will try as much as possible to also keep up with the chairperson to learn a lot from him. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be learned.
Alright. Thank you very much.
It was my first time having a board meeting all together, but for this one, for starters, I actually had a good time, and it was very, very insightful. And having to share all this information with us on how the company intends to embark on these activities, and it's been great. It's been an amazing experience with it.
Okay. So you are happy you are investing into Grover. What are your expectations for the future?
I am happy to invest in the company, and I'm actually expecting a lot per the discussion that we had, and I think there's great room for how would I even say it, for development. Exactly, there's great room for development. Yeah, and there's a lot to be done, but then we'll definitely get to that point where we want to meet, and then it's gonna grow. We're gonna get there.
Okay. Do you have any message for young investors out there who would want to get into some form of entrepreneurship?
Message for young investors. Yes, first of all, if you want to invest in something, you need to understand exactly what you're investing into, and that's the reason why I came for this board meeting. I wanted to understand exactly how everything is supposed to be run within the company, and then with that, I'm actually convinced as to the roadmap that the company wants to embark on, and that is the number one thing you should always look out for before you decide to invest in a company. Understand what you are investing into. Make sure you can, see like the full side of the company, and then you now make a decision as to if you want to go into this or not. That's the best way you can go about investment as a youth.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome. Did I finish?
Yes.
I want to do some. Should I go over?
You really kiss.
Grow up is a good opportunity. If you are able to invest in a business, I think you should contact Grow Up and try something out. It's a very good opportunity to invest in.
So, what promises are you going to make for us? Grow Up is going to ride on your shoulders. What assurance do you have for us that when we invest, there is hope for us?
Oh, basically, the artists that I'm trying to work with this year, I think they will do well. So if you invest in this, I think it's a very good idea, because we are not going to just choose any random artist that we will be able to work with or we will be working with. These are professional guys that we'll be using from these time forms. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay. So I'll say that Grow Up, when it started, I actually didn't have any idea what it would become. I was very young, about 10 years ago. I was doing a lot of research into entrepreneurship and how to make revenue online, and I was just taking opportunities on social media. So I found out that on YouTube you can actually start up something and it could give you a lot of revenue and stuff. So I was just playing, teaching people the bass guitar, and then people started inquiring for more tutorials and people were willing to pay. So I was like, oh, if this is bringing money, why not? Then after a time and time, I realized that, oh, I can push a little bit further. My students were happy. They began to ask for music that I played cover on, which I didn't have the music. So I needed to put a team together to give them that music. So we had to hire a studio and do it. And I think my first gig was sponsored by one of my followers. I will have to appreciate him for this. I think his name is Ken. I will not mention his full name in case he wants the privacy, but Mr. Ken sponsored my first gig. So we did it for him. He wanted some renditions of area music. So we did that for him. And then there was another student of mine. I had three very powerful students. Their names are Samuel. And I don't know why all three of them were Samuel. I hope Samuel is watching this movie. I really appreciate him. One of the Samuels was the first person to pay me for a lesson. And he paid me consistently for 2 months, I think, every week for 2 months. So I had to be making a lot of videos for him. The other one actually bought our sound card. The sound card that we just replaced with the mixer, he bought the sound card for me, and I needed it then during the COVID. So when support was coming, I realized that there was a need, and to meet the need, we needed to put some more things together. So I started growing it, and with the entrepreneurial exposure I had, I realized that it was about time to make it something bigger and meet bigger needs, because to be able to do renditions of songs and promote artists, teach people, which I was doing. I was teaching just bass, now I can teach music. We needed to put a lot of things in place to do this. So that's what it has become. So at each point, we just look at the opportunities available and see how much we can afford it. If we can resume it for it, that's what we've done. I hope that's good enough for you.
Yeah. And
yes.
You had your board meeting. How did it go?
Yes. So about the board meeting, it got to a point we realized that we couldn't fund it all by ourselves, and the sponsorship from the followers was not too forthcoming. So I needed to do a lot of capital injection. So I started seeking out funds, and then thanks to Mr. Kalmoni, he's my director at work, and I'm his mentee, he's my mentor. So, and thanks to Engineer Steven Deborah as well, they told me that you can get the revenue from your followers. So give it a shot, put in structures, make your business investor ready. So we decided to put these things in place because for someone to give you his money to do business, there needs to be guaranteed that he's going to get his money back and hopefully make profit. So we put in a lot of things in place. I had to start documenting, I had to register the business, I had to open a business account. There has to be proof of revenue, there has to be proof of activities. These are things as an entrepreneur you need to do when you are doing a business, especially when you intend to get funding from people out there. You cannot just come up with an idea. For example, in 2019, I was making some good revenue and then I quit my job. But when COVID came, it disappeared. So assuming I had taken someone's money to do what I was doing in 2019, the person would have lost his money. You get it? So you need to get guarantee and security for your investors. So Mr. Kamani schooled me a lot about this stuff. He did an initial investment. He said I should get friends. Realized that in the meeting he said it, that everybody who was in that meeting was there because you trust me. You believe that I won't run away with your money. Your money will, and if as you begin to get more revenue, you will probably invest more and more. Okay, so people need security, so we should put in place the corporate governance, and this is something that has been lacking in a lot of entrepreneurship. You need the corporate governance measures where there's maximum disclosure of revenue. If Willikis gets some funds and brings it back, if I give him money, I record it. Remember he was asking about the shares. Everything has to be transparent so that nobody's making money off the other. They're like, okay, so, and then there is chance to grow and scale up. A lot of businesses may never scale up because the procedures are just not there. They have no idea how much they make and how much they spend, their profit margin or even their loss margin. For example, at Groove Up, we know we are making a loss. Okay, last year we knew we were making a loss. This year we are not making a loss, but I'm choking. Okay, sort of. So now we know what the yes. So we don't see money and get excited and just blow it up. These things need to be in place as growing entrepreneurs, and when you want to seek funding and the like, and if you want to scale up, you need to really have some of these things to be able to do these things. And even if you want to invest, you should be able to ask for some of this stuff. So a lot of people, for example, when I was talking about share, a lot of people ask me that how much percent am I going to give them a month or a year? I'm like, this is not a Ponzi. It's only in a Ponzi that I'm so sure that I'll give you 5%, or a bank. When I tell you that I'll give you a guaranteed percentage, it means I am making more than that, and I'm just giving security for your money. But when you're investing in shares, you could make money or not make money, and you could make an exponentially high amount of money. So if I give you a guaranteed returns, I am obliged to pay that whether or not I make money. And if I don't make money, that's when I have to run away. So the personal loans I disclosed that I had committed. And those monies I know that I'll be able to pay. So I know by May I can pay Mr. Kamoni because I have Susu that I'm going to take my share in May. So I know that Susu in May he gets his share. Then I know by September I'm going to get some other good opportunity. So there is calculated risk, you get it, and there is absolute disclosure, and everybody knows what is happening, so that in the end the transparency meets everybody's demand. That's what it is.
So this you've covered and been able to answer to new entrepreneurs what they have in mind and how they can tackle issues that will come up. I want to also ask YouTube.
You want to show him the person is troubling me? Okay.
So we have YouTube, Elom, and Groove Hub.
Yes.
What is their relation?
What's the relationship? So Groove Up is what we have here. This is Groove Up Studios, and it's hosted on YouTube. I can say that YouTube made us what we are now. YouTube gave us this opportunity. So we are first on YouTube, but now we are going beyond YouTube. So now we have this place where people can come, we can go for events, we can, you get it. And then Elom is our medium program. So if you want to do a gospel worship event, it will be named Elom. You get it. And I have optimized the name Elom a lot, which is one way Groove Up is going to make money in the future, is the digital optimization. So when you search Elom on YouTube, Groove Up is the first videos that show up. There are other musicians called Elom, but they won't show up before me. You get it? So it's a name I want to own. Groove Up has owned. It has become like a brand name. Very soon it can actually be registered, and the name Elom should resonate with Groove Up. You get it? So that's what Elom is. If we in one of the reports, we actually want to be able to do like music workshops, we want to do Africo gigs. Depending on the artists that come out and the opportunities that come, some of these stuff will pop up because in the world of entrepreneurship, you cannot be too static and have a direct path and state it that this is what it's going to be. It may never become that, but you have to be open for opportunities and possibilities. You get it? Because initially, I wanted to have just like a YouTube studio where we can record. Then people started asking, can we do rehearsals? So we realized that, oh, we don't have a mixer, we don't have mics, we don't have speaking. If we get this, we cannot do rehearsals. And there is an opportunity for revenue there. You get it? So those stuff are there as well. Now we can actually play a full gig if you will come and play the guitar. Whenever they give you
Okay,
guitars.
so final last question.
Yes.
From being a field engineer,
Yes.
managed being through marketing strategist,
Yes.
and now you are managing music online
Yes.
or a physical music presenter, but and now like a music manager.
Yes.
What has been that
Why
drive?
was I doing? Okay. So for the music, it's been my passion and hobby. Like I've been playing music as long as I can remember. There's a funny joke about me and my music is that when I was young and there was a brass band procession, I would disappear from home. I follow them until they get to their destination, and then the music stops and I have to find my way back home. Very hungry and tired. So I've been a lover of music. The genetic one is that my paternal side, they are priests, and the people who are not priests are musicians. They are Henos and Zagonos. Then my maternal side, my grandfather was in the choir. All my mother and brothers and sisters have been in the choir. My mom has been a choir patron. So I didn't get the opportunity to decide whether or not I was interested in music. By the time I was growing, I loved rhythms. I played band in school. I played the regular ones. I started playing jazz drums. The drum set, I got a chance to learn the bass at Ebenezer Global Evangelical Church. It's been very grateful, supportive to me in my music career. So I had grown music throughout my school, and when I interview people as a professional engineer, I ask them, usually you don't get a first class, I ask you, what prevented you from getting a first class? Music prevented from getting a first class. It's not a bad thing, it's a hobby. So your hobby is what takes your time. Okay, so music has been a part of my life. So I realized that if this thing is taking a lot of my time, I should be able to, when I was doing the research on entrepreneurship, it states that everything that takes your time should be able to pay for the time it takes. Sort of. So it got to a point that I would not do an activity that is not making me money or saving me money. It was the worst state of business management to be in. And the average businessman does this like 90% of the time. The activity is either making you money or saving you money. You have to find a way to connect this. Okay, so when you're at work, you're making money. When you're at home and relaxing, you hope that you are saving money because you need to relax to rejuvenate when you're having fun. When you are with family, you are relaxing and spending time because if you're not with them, they miss you. There will be tension, you need to now travel and all the stuff. So every activity has to have a premium price. So if it's not doing any of these things, you have to cut it off. So sorry, but just last week I needed to just dissolve the base groups because I was overwhelmed the whole year. 3 months I had a headache, like I had too many things working. So that's the issue about the engineering stuff. So I'm a civil engineer, I'm a marketing manager, and then now I'm play bass at night and stuff. So I seem to be doing a lot. So you have to let go of some of them, and also the things that form part and parcel of me. For me, my only entertainment is music. I don't watch movie, I don't watch sports. You get it? So I'm able to make enough time for music. So it's my passion that has become a business, sort of, and it's impacting lives as well. People now have revenue opportunities, a lot of people have entertainment opportunities. So I just grew through it. It was not too strategically planned. That I never thought that I'll have a music studio when I grew. I never said it at any of those such meetings. Yes. So it's just.
So a quick one. How do you expect with the future of Groove?
Oh, the future of Groove Up is to become a big entertainment and event management and production hub. If you listen in the meeting, what's going to happen is that we are going to have our own logistics. have our own infrastructure, have our own artists, have our own management. We are going to be like a big marketing conglomerate. So where the entertainment aspect of the marketing belongs to us, the logistic aspect of the marketing belongs to us, and then the SEO aspect of marketing, search engine optimization, and digital consultancy also belongs to us, because there is a thing about this. Most of the groups don't have all the 3 segments. So when you need an artist, they now have to go and lobby artists and pay big sums of money, and they now need to make better. We would have had our own artist, and then we would have had our own logistics. Some people would have to now rent the equipment and stuff. So we hope to be able to acquire all our equipment when we have the muzzle, and then we have the professionals who now work on the websites, as you saw in the meeting. And there is a big tool. I don't know how much Ghana has come to a realization of it, but I get paid for search engine optimization more than I get paid as a civil engineer actually. So people need to find you. People need to find you. And I can tell that 2017 I started getting found for doing bass tutorials. So actually I stopped doing bass tutorials because I had done 100 videos on bass guitar, and I felt like I have exhausted all my knowledge in bass. So I need to move into the next phase of things. That's another reason why we find ourselves here. I would have probably been playing bass on YouTube. I've done just too many videos. I actually done 100 plus videos, which are unlisted on the Grow Up channel. If anybody asks for it, you want to learn bass guitar from beginner to expert level, so long as you can make the time, it's available. Yes. So we faced through a lot of things. So if the opportunity comes in something else next year, we just need to discuss it.